Good morning, everyone. Welcome back to CA Foundation Principles and Practice of Accounting. We are discussing the topic of account current pre-break. We'll continue. We'll now start with illustration number 3. Kamal's account in Vimal's ledger showed a debit balance of 15,000. So in whose books? Very good. Whose ledger? Showed debit balance of 15. What does it mean? Vimal to receive 15,000 from Kamal. Vimal to receive 15,000 from Kamal. Sir, Vimala, Kamala. Confusion ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇದೆ. V to receive 15,000 from K. Oi. You can still hear someone talk. Not that tough. To be submitted by Vimal to Kamal. So in Vimal's perspective, in the books of Vimal, Kamal in account current with Vimal. See, in the books of Vimal, this is like Kamal account, Kamal in account current with Vimal. We'll start debit side. Shall I show only debit side? Okay. So previous problem we did it under product method. This problem I'll show it you under interest table method. We'll do product method as homework. Okay. Why, sir? See, tomorrow you'll have consignment test, but Tuesday you'll have average rate account current test. So should do practice for that. How much is balance brought up? 15,000. Date 11th of January. No. 1st of January. Opening balance. Due date also will be same date. What is after that? Who are we? Vimal. Vimal sold goods. So we sold goods to Kamal. Entries Kamal account debit to sales. So I'll write here 2 sales. Amount. Date 11th of January. Have they given any due date? So 11th of January will only be clear. What is after that? January 24th. Vimal received a promissory note from Kamal due after 3 months. Who received? Vimal. So when Vimal received a promissory note, for Vimal it is bills receivable. Entry is bills receivable account debit to Kamal. So in Kamal account, what do we write? Why bills receivable? Oh, very good. How much is the amount? Date on the bill 24th of January. Bill is for how long? 3 months. If you add 3 months, 24th February, 24th March, 24th April, 24th. Now we have a question. When we write 24th April, should we add 3 grace days and write it 27th, or should we not add and write 24th April? See, ICI in some cases has not added 3 grace days. In some cases, they have added 3 grace days. In some cases, they have not added. Some cases, they have added. So, you please take a decision and then add it or not add it. Doesn't matter. But right at the end of the question, because this is a promissory note, 3 grace days is not added. You can write that. Or, in spite of this being promissory note, as per Negotiable Instrument Act, we should give 3 grace days. So, we're giving. If you ask me what to do, I would say always add 3 grace days. Always add. Don't maintain any disparity. So I'll write 27th of April 2020. You got it? Either ways, you write one note saying that you know that it is a bill of exchange and you have consciously added 3 grace days. Write one note. Don't miss it. Yes or no? After this, what is the next transaction? Kamal sold goods to Vimal. So who are we? Vimal. So they are saying Kamal sold. For Vimal, it is purchase. Entry is purchase account debit to. So in Kamal's books, we'll write by purchases. How much is the amount? Date 1st of February. Have they given any due date? No, that's it. February 4th. Vimal sold goods to. So for Vimal, it is sales. Kamal account debit to sales. Shall I write on the debit side here? 2 sales. How much? 24,600 on 4th of February. Have they given any due date? Same date. After that, 7th of February, Kamal returned goods to. So we are Vimal. We're receiving the goods back. For us, it is sales return. Entry will be sales return account debit to. Very good. So in Kamal account, I'll write buy sales return. Shall I write here buy sales return? 7th of February. Nothing mentioned 7th of February and 1st of February. Clear. Amount is 3,000. Clear? Very good. What's after this? Kamal sold goods to. We are Vimal. For us, it is sales. Kamal account debit to. So on the debits, oh sorry, Kamal sold goods to Vimal. We are Vimal. For us it is purchase. Purchase account debit to Kamal. So in Kamal account I'll write buy purchase. 1st of March, 16,800. Due date also will be 1st of March. After this, March 18th, Vimal sold goods to. Who are we? Vimal. We sold goods. Entry is Kamal to sales. So this is like Kamal account. Here I'll write to sales 27,600. On the date 18th of March. 18th of March. Clear? After 18th of March. 23rd of March. Kamal sold goods to. So we are Vimal. If Kamal has sold, we have purchased. Entry is purchase account debit to Kamal. So this is like Kamal account. Here I'll write buy purchases. Date is 23rd of March. Amount 12,000. Everyone understood this? Very good. So now they're saying accounts are settled by means of check. Meaning you should write balance carried down. You should write balance carried down. Don't write balance carried down. Right? Bank. By bank or to bank. Check is either received or issued. And the interest rate is 10%. Shall we prepare? Very good. We are doing interest table method. So first point period, then multiply by 10% and do by the 365 year only. If not, we could have taken the product and then identified the balance figure and then done once for all interest. But I'm solving one problem under product, one problem under interest. First problem we did under both interest table as well as product. Second problem I did only under product method. Interest table method is your homework. This problem I will solve under interest table method. Product method will be homework to you. Next problem I will solve product method. Interest table method will be homework. Sir, they have not asked interest table method. I told you it is okay to practice 2 times before one attempt rather than practicing it 2 times after first attempt. It is always good. It is always give all the energy you can and finish it off in one attempt. Someone has to tell it is true reality. You get this? Then you finish it and then tell me, sir, see, we put in enough effort so that we clear, so we cleared in first attempt. You get what I'm trying to tell? This is not negativity. This positive approach, being really realistic. Doesn't matter who you are. If you don't study, you will fail. If you don't study, even I will fail. We're all human beings, not godly creatures. Correct or no? मैं भगवान हूं. कभी कभी लगता है कि अपन ही भगवान है. नो, अपन भगवान नहीं है. अगर वैसे सोचेंगे तो बेकार बन सकते हैं. Then we'll ask, भगवान के नाम पे पैसे दे दो बाबा. Let's start. 1st of January to when are we preparing account current? 31st of March. This is opening balance. Should I count January 1st also? Yes. 31 days in January. Then 29 days in February. Why? 2020 is leap year. 29 in February and 31 in March. Over here, 11th of January. So 20 days in January, 29 days in February, 31 days in March. 80 days. Next, 4th of February. 4th of. So 29 days are there in February. 4 days are gone. What are we left with? 25. 25 days in February, 31 days in March. 15. Okay. 18th of March. Meaning how many days left? 13 days in March. Easy, simple. Okay. How about here? 27th of April to 31st of March. Do it. How many days? Do you find something weird? What is it weird? Ulta. Till now, 1 second we'll check here. Till now what was happening? We are going forward. We are going, now we are going backward. What to do? Minus. We should write it as minus 27. This is called as red ink. What is it called as? On this, if this is minus, when we compute interest, it will be 15,000 into 27 by 365 into 10. And now 15,000 into minus 27 by 365 into 10%. So answer will be minus. Interest will also be written as minus. It is called as red ink interest. What is it called as? Shall I now explain why are we writing it in red and why is it negative and how is it correct? Shall I? Now, we are doing interest computation from the date of transaction to the date of account current. We are doing interest computation from the date of transaction to the date of, am I right? Every sale that we make, every rupee that we give, we consider it as loan given. From the date on which the loan is given till the date of account current, we compute interest. Clear? Say something. Yes. Very good. Now, let us say a transaction is there for which the due date is given. Then we don't compute the period from the date of transaction. Instead, we compute it from the date on which it is due. Due date to date of account credit. Why? Because the amount is not due on the date of transaction. It is due on the due date. Before that amount is not due. Let's say I purchase goods from you. I'm supposed to pay you after 15 days. 15 days credit you given. So that first day, second day, third day, fourth day, will you compute interest? No. From 15th day, interest will be computed. So we would have to compute that interest from 15th day. Are you getting what I'm trying to tell? Yes or no? Now, such due date falls in the next period. Such due date falls in the, you are this close from being thrown out of the class. Last but one. Munish Munde. Any problem? Do you know what is reading interest? When I'm teaching something important, I want undivided attention. If you don't listen, you will get shot by questions on the topic that's been taught. If you don't answer, the door will be open for you. Do you know what is reading interest? Have you learned this anytime before in 11th standard, 12th standard, in any other class? Then you should do close every other thing that you're doing and then listen completely to this. Do you get it? So if any transaction is due at a later date, from the due date to date of account current is when we compute interest. What if the due date falls after the date of account current? The transaction is not due in the current period. Is it due in the current period? So should we compute interest on it? We should not compute interest on it. We should not compute. Interest should be computed in the next period. Do you agree with me? Interest should be computed for the amount due in the current period from the due date till date of account current. From the date of account current, from the due date till the date of account current, we'll compute interest. If it is due in the next period, should we compute interest in the current period? So for this transaction, interest should be 0. For this transaction, interest should be why? Very simple. It is due on what date? 27th of April. Next period, assume that you are doing account current for April month. Only April month. 1st of April to 30th of April, you are doing one account current. In that period, for this transaction, we'll compute 28, 29, 30. 3 days interest. In the next period. Do you agree with me? In the next period, we should compute how many days interest for this? 3 days. In this period, how much should be interest? 0. Interest should be. So now we wrote the entry by bills receivable. That is nothing but bills receivable account debit to Kamal. Am I right? On 27th of April, when the money is received, what will be entry? Cash account debit to. Cash account debit to. So this cash to bills receivable entry will not come in Kamal account. How do we compute 3 days interest? Why is it that next period it's not coming? Because it's already included now only, no? We write the entry when the bill is received in the parties book, not when the bill is matured. And I'll tell you what will be the further damage. This 15,000 pay, I will compute 0 interest. That is something that everyone will agree. Interest should be 0 in the current period. Why? Because it matures only in the next period. Why do we give interest? But let's say we are not doing account current. Let's say we are doing only simple ledger. When you do simple ledger, here I'll find balance carried down, or here I'll get balance carried down. In that, this 15,000 is included or not included. In the next period, for April, when I do account current, when I write balance brought down, that balance brought down will include 15,000. For that opening balance, will compute interest from the first day till the end. That is from 1st of April to 30th. 31st is not there. 30th of April. We'll compute interest for 30 days. We'll compute interest for. But in that opening balance, this 15,000 is included. For this 15,000, we should actually compute interest only for. So on this 15,000, which gets included in the closing balance for this period and becomes part of opening balance in the next period, we compute 30 days interest because it is part of opening balance. However, on that interest should be computed only for 3 days. So in the next period, there will be excess interest computed for how many days? 27 days. To compensate that, we'll compute negative 27 days interest here. like that last drop of juice that you from the straw. Understood? Yes or no? Let me repeat. Let me repeat. This transaction is not happening in this period. We are not receiving money in this period. We are not paying money in this period. So it doesn't belong to the current accounting current period. It does not belong to the current account current period. You don't have to compute interest in the current year. Interest can be zero for this because the due date is not within the date of account current. Am I right? However, this becomes part of the closing balance for the current year. You should keep yourself awake. It should become part of the closing balance for when it becomes part of the closing balance for current year, it becomes part of opening balance for next period. When it becomes part of the opening balance for next period, in the next period, interest will be computed from the beginning date till the end of account current. So for this 15,000, there will be interest computed for 30 days in the next period. Whereas it will mature only on 27. So correct is computing interest only for 3 days. But because it's part of opening balance, we end up computing interest for 30 days. So we compute additional interest for 27 days in next period. To compensate that, we will do minus 27 days interest in current period. That's the reason it's called as red ink interest. Because the interest will be in red. Interest will be in, it will catch your attention. You will see it and you will understand, oh, this is not current year period. This is next year amount. Because there will be excess in next year, you collected shortage in this year. And when you're totaling the column also, you should take it as minus, not plus. Are you getting it? Yes or no? Now tell me, in a ledger, can you write the amount as negative? No. In a ledger, can you do like next year you will book by mistake, next year you will do extra income, so you will book expense now? No. Should compute correct expense in the next year, correct income in the next year. Am I right? If it is accounting, normal double entry accounting, next year we should book 3 days interest. We should not do 30 days interest in next year and to compensate that we'll do minus 27. You know that in the future you will make mistake. So now only you are trying to make it nice for that mistake. You should not do. You should rectify that mistake. You know that in the next year you will do mistake. You should not do that mistake in next year. What are you doing now? Now only you are setting up the stage right for doing mistake in the next period. It is like this. You saw that kids in the home are like throwing banana peel. So you're like, once I come back, I'll keep the banana peel. I keep my leg on the banana peel. I will fall. I will get my head hurt. So now only you will, what to say, get ointment, first aid kit, and keep it ready, and then go home and then come back tomorrow. See the banana peel. I like gottittu. Adike first aid kit tandidu. You will tell that you will keep your leg on the banana peel, slip and then fall. Don't do it. So this is not proper accounting. That is the reason I called it a statement. It's a running statement. It's not an account. This is not in compliance with double entry system. This is done with a purpose. What is the purpose? To identify how much amount is payable or receivable on a specific date after considering the transaction for a specific period. Got this? Everyone? Fantastic. Come on. Let's write the next one now. So I'll make you write a note on this. Don't worry. Now, but mathematically, so don't worry. If it is forward, write plus. If it is backward, write minus. Interest also I compute minus. Answer also will get it right. So don't have to use too much of brain. Just follow mathematics, you'll get the answer. But sometimes no, follow accounts teacher also to understand the logic. Yeah. 27th April to 31st March over. 1st of February to 31st March. February 28 days, March 31 days. 29 days, sorry. 59. Correct? Okay. Then here, 7th of February. 22 days in February, 31 in March. Here, 1st of March. So basically 30 days in March. Here, 23rd means 8. Everyone got this? 10% is the interest. Compute interest. 15,000 into 91 into 10 by 100. Days you take 366. Why? Leap year. Sir, will it be wrong if I take 365? Nothing wrong. All decimals may will get difference. End answer will be 1 rupee or 2 rupee different. It is okay. You will be given full marks. 372 point. Come on, do it for next one. 18,000 into 80 into 10%. 80 by 366 into 10%. 394. 393.4. Next, 24,600 into 56 by 366 into 10%. 376 point. Then 27,600 into 13 by 366 into 10%. 98 point. Okay, this side 15,000 into minus 27 by 366 into 10%. Minus 110 point. We'll keep it red. Literally, when they were doing these things in practical manual accounting, they used to write it in red. That was the reason it was called as rating interest. 30,000 into 59 by 366 into 10%. 483 point. 3,000 into 53 by 366 into 10%. 43 point. 16,800 into 30 by 366 into 10%. 1. 12,000 into 8 by 366 into 10%. 26.23. Got it? Now, first find the balancing figure in interest column. I think debit side itself is more. How much? $1,240.82. Now find the balancing figure. Interest. Interest column balancing figure. Faster, 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 faster. Huh? 660.49. When we shift it to amount column, it will come on the opposite side. Shall I write debit side? I'll write here interest 660.49. Now take the total on the debit side 33, 37, 47, 57, 64, 74, 84, 85, 85,000. Okay, let's write that here 85,860. Find out the balancing figure. I'll insert one more zero here. 9,000. 9,060 point. This is the amount receivable by Vimal from Kamal. Amount receivable by Vimal from Ashte. Understood? Let me quickly make you understand rating interest once again. Read this and then we'll go to next question after you copy. For your understanding, when due date of the transactions falls after date of account current, results in negative period and negative interest. This is called as rating interest. Why? This transaction is due after date of account current. Done. So it will not, we don't have to pay any interest in, or we don't have to receive any interest in current period. Interest has to be computed in next period. But it goes into closing balance of current year, reflects in opening balance in next year. So interest is computed from the beginning till the end. That is additionally computed for certain period. To compensate that additional interest in the next period, we find negative interest in the current period. Read this once. People watching it online from home, respond. Did you understand this? Crying. She's also crying. Happy tears, sad tears. Done. Okay. Shall we now copy? Come on, copy. I'll first show the debit side, then I'll show the credit side. For those who would want to take a screenshot and then copy, I'll show the entire answer once. Yeah, entire answer in the screen once for those who would want to take screenshot. Oh. For those who are copying, enjoy. How many more questions? 4 more questions for the day. In that, I'll give one homework, 3 more questions for the day. Aramag mana. Listen to me. This is too many columns to write in the examination. In the examination, it's way too many columns. You will not be able to show the answer that way. The question that you guys have is, sir, can I change the alignment of the answer? Sir, instead of writing like this, can I write like this? You cannot. You cannot change the alignment. How do we do? You should fit the answer into one page and you should not even use margin. How do we do it? I will tell you, don't draw two separate columns for date and due date. You can skip and draw only one column. Name it as date slash due date. For the transaction for which date is there, just write date. If it has due date, write date. Below that only you write due date and consider due date in the computation of answer. Do you get this? Reduce the size of particulars column. Period column can be very small because everything will be 2 digits. Period. And interest column also can be substantially small. Is it possible to fit it in? Yes, it is possible to fit in the answer. Yes, it is possible to fit in the answer. But we had one thought. What if we write the answer in an open page like this? So, can we open a page like this and then write debit on this side, credit on this side? Yeah, that we didn't know if they'll allow. Previously, it was okay when the papers were manuscript corrected. Faculties used, the evaluators used to get the paper in hard copy just to correct it. They'll see this side, they'll see this side. But you know how the correction happens now? The paper will not be given as a hard copy to the evaluator. All the papers will be scanned. All the papers will be, once the papers are scanned in the PDF format, no, not a downloadable PDF, in an online. Now, if member portal is there, similarly, there is an evaluator portal. When they go in their login, they'll get the PDF there for them to see. Not exactly PDF, something like PDF. So, there will be checkboxes there only they'll put the marks. Do you get it? So, they won't be able to see two screens at a time. They'll be able to see only one screen at a time. So, this was an element of doubt. A lot of faculties and a lot of YouTubers have told you can write like that, you can write like this. A lot of them told you can't write like that, you'll have to write it in one page. I was little experimental. So every time I should tell the same to students. So then what I did, if any one of you are willing to take a risk, then write debit side on one side, credit side on one side. Let us see. One guy did. Then we applied for photocopy of his answer script. He did come. And he was given full marks for it. He didn't do account current question, but he did cash book question that way. So if it is given for that, it will be given for everything. Are you getting it? It's a little risky, but usually evaluators are kind-hearted. Even they went through the entire process of foundation, intermediate, final. They understand what it takes. If it is correct, they will do give marks. So you can write debit on one page, credit on one page, but don't write in flip pages. Don't write debit here and then open the page and then write credit side here. No. If your answer is going to be starting here, leave this page empty. Come here and then write debit side here, credit side. But don't use the margin. Don't use the margin. Don't use the margin. Here also don't use margin. Here also don't use margin. Understood that? Yes or no? But if you plan it well, you can fit it in one page only. It is not impossible. It is possible. And one more thing is, after each item that you write in the account current, leave little space. Leave at least one line space and then write the next one. See, in an account current, there are max to max 6 transaction or 7 transaction. In that 4 on one side, 3 on one side types. There are hardly 4 transactions. If you leave one line, it comes to 8 lines. Half the page. Use it. There is no computation also required after account current. No, use it. Don't write all of them together. The reason is, what if you've done some computation wrong? You have space no one line to scratch it and then write at the bottom. If you have not left that line, then you don't have space to write. You might scratch the entire answer and rewrite it. So don't get into such a place. Leave one line in between wherever possible, so that you can write there the, I would say, the correction that you have, and you can get more marks. Got it? Come on. We're done with question number 3. Let us now solve question number 4. We'll do one more question again on product method. Practice ugly. Yeah? Let's do illustration number 4. Illustration number. There are only 2 more things left. One is epoch method. One is product of balance method. 2 more things. 2 concepts. Yeah, we might have 4 more questions, but 2 more concepts pending. We'll finish it very smoothly. 11:30. I have time till 1:30, 2 o'clock. Aram se. Today we are not going home before finishing this chapter. Tomorrow I am not doing this chapter. Tomorrow I want to start with final accounts. If not, people will be behind. Start. From the following particulars, make up an account current to be rendered by S to A. Who's preparing it? Whom is it given to? So we're doing account current for S. In the books of S, A account. In the books of S, we're doing A account. Shall we start? Okay, read the first one. Balance owing by A, 520. Balance is owed by whom? For S, it is receivable. We're doing from S perspective. Isn't it an asset? Asset opening balance, debit side. So I'll write to balance brought down. Yeah, did you understand this A in account current with yes? Amount is 520. Date is 30th of June. Let's go to next transaction. Goods sold to A. Goods is sold to entry for goods being sold to A. A account debit to sales. I'll write here 2 sales. 40 rupees on 17th of July. Any other due date given? No. Cash received from A. Entry is cash account debit to A. So this is A account. Shall I write here buy cash? Buy cash. Amount is 500. Date is 1st of August. 1st of after that. Goods sold to A. Entry for goods sold to A. A account debit to sales. I'll write here 2 sales. Amount is 720. Date is 19th of August. After that, goods sold to A. Again, these people are jobless. They're selling, purchasing. You should be happy when they do such transactions. Because they're doing all these transactions, you are getting to do accounts. If people don't do business, what will you do? Upukara account. 2 sales over. Next. Cash received from A. And the cash is received from A. Journal entry is cash account debit to. So this is A account. We'll write buy cash. What do we write? Buy cash. Date is 1st of September. Okay. Here also I'll write 1st of September to be the date. Okay, da. Yes or no? After that, A accepted yes bill at 3 months date. Okay, A has accepted yes bill. So A is the one who's accepting. Yes is the one who's drawing them. Correct or not? Bills receivable account debit to. Hey, what is wrong with you? A has accepted. So who has drawn the bill? Yes. Sir. So what is it to A? Sorry, we are yes. We are yes. We are yes. I am thinking about now what and all problem will you people create after 1:30. Sir, what is the hungry sir? Sir, stomach is growling, rat is running and all. Thinking, A accepted yes bill at 3 months date. Correct? So we are yes. So for yes, it is bills receivable. Bills receivable account debit to A. What is the entry? By bills receivable. What is the amount? 300. Date 1st September. Have they given the bill period? 3 months. Now think 3 months from 1st of September. 1st of October, 1st of November, 1st of December. Then 2nd, 3rd, 4th. 4th of December. Clear? What's after that? Goods bought from A. A has bought goods 20. From A, we are yes, we have purchased. Purchase account debit to. So this is A account. I'll write buy purchase 20. 22nd October, 22nd October. After that, goods sold to A. A account debit to sales. 2 sales. 14A. What is this? Yeah, small business. 14 rupees. 12th of November. Last one. Cash received from A. Entry is cash account debit to. So here I'll write buy cash. What is the amount? 50. 14th of December. You actually don't need to draw due date column for this. Only one transaction has due date. Rest everything it's same. For that in the date column only below that you can write no due date. Okay. Here also we'll write due date, due date, due date, due date, due date. They have not mentioned the method. Have they mentioned? No. We'll do product method. First we'll find period. When are we preparing account current? Account current is prepared on 31st December. When is it prepared? 31st of December. Now from 30th of June to 31st of December. 30th of June to 31st of December. How many days? June we should count 1 day. 30. June we should count 1 day. July 31 days. August 31 days. September 30 days. October 31 days. November 30 days. December 31 days. 180. Yeah. July 17th over. So July may 14 days. 14 in July, 31 in August, 30 in September, 31 in October, 30 in November, 31 in December. 19th of August. 19th of August is 12 days in August. 12 in August, 30 in September, 31 in October, 30 in November, 31 in December. 30th of August. 1 day in August. 30 in September. 31 in October. 30 in November. 31 December. 12th of November. So 18 days in November, 31 days in December. 49 over here. 1st of August. Already did we have 1st of August? No, we'll do it fresh. 1st of August. 30 days in August. 30 September. 31 October. 30 November. 31 December. 1st of September. So 29 in September. 31 in October. 30 November. 31 December. So 4th of December. That is 28 days in December. 27 days in December. Sorry. 22nd October, 9 in October, 13 November, 31 in December. 14 December means 16 plus 1, 17 days in December. Shall we find product? 520 into 185. 1 second, I'll change the color of these items. What do we get here? 96,200. Then here 14 to 167. 6,680. Then 720 into 135. 96,480. Then 15 to 123. Very good. 14 into 49. 686. Here 500 into 152. 400 into 121. 300 into 27. 20 into 17. 50 into 17. Now tell me which side the total is more. How much? 2,06,196. Identify balance in figure. Balance of product. Balance of product is on the credit side. On this interest should come on the debits. On this interest should come on which side? Debit side. Opposite side. 446. Come on, we'll compute interest here. 71,446 into 1 by 366 into 5%. Oh, color red putna by mistake. Sorry. I was wondering something is wrong. I'll make it blue. 7. 9.76. Now take the total in the amount column. 520, 560, 1,360, 1,380, 1,430, 1,000. 353.76. 1,353.76. Balancing figure. Balance carried down. 1,270 should be done. 83 point. So 83.76 rupees is receivable by S from A. Yes to receive 83.76 rupees from A. Understood? Everyone, copy this. Then we'll do next concept. Next concept is we will do next fifth question is there. No, I'll teach you how to do under epoch method. Epoch ulta. It's going to be new. It's going to be new. After we do epoch method, I'll teach you how to do balance of product method. Balance of product method. One more. Copy. For those who would want to see the entire answer, one go for you to take screenshot. Here it is. But you guys can't see, no, if it is like this. Can. Should I leave it like this or zoom? Zoom, Last 2-3 rows, can you see it if it's there? Okay. ಆಯ್ತಾ ಕುಚ್ಚು ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ಶಾಟ್ ತಗೊಂಡ್ರಾ write this enjoy. Let's now move on to question number 5. Question number 5 will solve under both methods, epoch method and the method that we did so far. The method that we did so far is called as forward method. What is it called as? The method that we'll do newly, or the method that we'll learn newly in this problem is called as epoch, or it's nothing but backward. Sir, what is it? Before we do that, let's solve it under forward method normally. Come on, silence. Now tell me, what is a transaction? Fifth one. Fifth one. One second. Fifth one. Mehra owed rupees 3,000 on 1st January to Somesh. Don't worry about all of that. First understand what is it that we want. Who is preparing and sending it to whom. They decided to settle it by one single payment. Alhamdulillah. Following transaction. They have not told anything. They haven't told anything. So let's prepare in the books of Somesh Mehra account. In the books of Somesh, shall we prepare in the books of Somesh Mehra account? For us, we are representing Somesh. We are preparing Mehra account. Mehra owed 3000. For us, this is receivable 3000. Am I right? This is receivable 3000. Receivable of 3000 is asset. You should write on the debit side. So on the debit side, I'll write to balance brought down 3000. Date 1st of January 2007. Have they given any due date? Opening balance will not have due date. I hope you will remember that. Then interest is at 6%. First transaction. Mr. Somesh sold goods to Mehra. Who are we? Somesh. Somesh sold goods to Mehra. Entry is Mehra account debit to sales. So this is like Mehra. Here I'll write 2 sales. How much? 2000 on 16th of January. 16th of due date 16th of January. Why? Nothing mentioned. Then next transaction. Somesh purchased goods from Mehra. Somesh purchased goods. We are Somesh. When we purchase goods from Mehra, entry is purchase account debit to Mehra. So I will write by purchases. How much? 1500. On what date? 29th of January. Have they given any due date? No. Same date will be our due date. Okay. What is after that? Mr. Somesh paid cash. Somesh has paid cash. Entry is Somesh account debit to cash. Somesh has paid cash. Mehra account debit to cash. We paid it to Mehra to cash. 1500. 10th of February is the date. What's after that? Mehra accepts a bill drawn by Somesh for 1 month. We are the one who's drawing the bill. For us, it is bills receivable. For us, it is bills. Bills receivable is asset. It should be debited. Entry is bills receivable account debit to. Very good. Bills receivable account debit to. So this is like Mehra account. So I'll write here by bills receivable. How much? 2000 rupees on 13th of March. This bill is for 1 month. So I've written 13th of April. But we should add 3 grace days. Am I right? They've given very clearly ignore grace days. So I'll write 13th of April to be the due date. Sir, 13th of April is after the year end. After the date on which account current is prepared. It will be red ink. Very good. Smart. Good find. It will be red ink interest. That's it. They want to settle their accounts on 15th March. So we're preparing account current on what date? 15th of March. Shall we compute the period now? From 1st of January to 15th of March. January 31 days. So should we count first date? Yes, we should count. If you're still asking it, then you are sleeping all this while. 2007 is not a leap year, so take 28 days in February and 31 days on 15 days in March. 74. Then 16th of January. So 15 days in January, 28 days in February and 15 days in March. 10th of February. So 18 days in February and 15 days in March. 33. Over here, 29th of January. 29th of January means 2 more days in January and 28 days in February and 15 days in March. 13th of April is 16 days in March plus 13 days. 29 days minus. No. How many of you think it's 13 days minus? Because it is 15th of March, not 31st of March. 15th of March. When are we preparing? 15th of March. Got it? No, simple. Find product. Is it doubt? Ask. They've told very clearly in the question, ignore grace 3 days. Grace illa, first ball reals. Out adre out. What is 62.1? Wait. Patience. Yeah. You know what Krishna told in Bhagavad Gita to Arjuna? Don't know. First to follow product and then compute interest. Don't. Yeah. In chapter 6, unit 5 of Bhagavad Gita. 3000 into 74. Kidding. 2,22,000. 2,000 into 58. 1,16,000. 1,500 into 33. 49,500. Here, 1,500 into 45. 2,000 into 29 minus 58,000. Safety. This will make it red. Sir, in the exam, should we write red? You're only allowed to carry black ballpoint pen. Sir, will do. No. So much sacrifice is not required. Sir, we are ready to do like. But then this, no, not required. Write in black pen only. Sir, can I just kill the neighbor? No. No bloodshed. Okay. Yes. Follow the footsteps of Gandhi. Hey, Gandhi. Total on the product side. How much? Relax. 2,22,000 plus 1,60,000 plus 49,500. Yes. Relax. 3,87,500. I'll write on the credit side also 3,87,500. Now come on, find how much is the balance carried down. Balance of product. 3,78,000. On this, we'll now find interest on debit side. Yes. Interest 3,78,000 into how much percentage? 6% into 1 by 365. 62.14. Find the total. 6,562.14. Hey, in calculator the battery ne adre compute ಮಾಡು. How much? 6,562.14. 6,562.14. Come on, find the balance carried down. 3,062.14. Ashte. Understood? How many of you have got this answer? No, you didn't do all this one. Not now in calculator. I gave you people time to try. 3 rupees. 3 grace days you added. How much? 1 rupee difference. 1 rupee you give. See. That 1 rupee difference is there, no? Yeah, we'll keep it with us. Death of a partner, 1 rupee difference barte on question ali. We'll use it there to keep. Okay, now is when the real game starts. We are going to solve the same problem under epoch method. Same problem under. First, let me tell what is epoch method. What we are doing so far, I want all of you to stop writing and then look at the board. What we did till now is called forward method. What is it called? Epoch method is also called as backward method. Epoch method is also called as. People see it as something very new, something very different. Some people ignore also. Everyone's keep it. So some people ignore also. Once it so happened, this chapter was in CA IPCC. That was about 3rd or 4th batch that I was teaching for CA IPCC. We had done the question under epoch method. In the exam, question had come under epoch method. Epoch method, only one question is there. So people take it lightly and then ignore. That was the only time it was asked, CIPC. But they had asked. Everyone didn't even know what the word epoch method was. They were all like, accountant, easy, I have done. Epoch method. I didn't know that. I did normal. Yeah, they would have also given. Usually 8 marks or 10 marks. They give 0. They'll also give 0. So epoch method is something that you should know. Just because only one problem is there on epoch, don't take it lightly. It is the same logic, ulta. In fact, epoch method is the correct logic. This is ulta method. Why? What are we doing? We're finding the period from the date of account current till the due date, or the date of, sorry, from the due date to date of account current, we're finding the period. How are we finding the period? Due date to date of account current. Are you getting it? What we should actually do is, in epoch method or backward method, we will take the beginning period, the beginning, the first date. See, the period has 2 dates, no, beginning date, end date. Now we are doing due date to end. And epoch will do beginning date to due date. Beginning date to, let's say account current year is prepared from 1st of January to 15th March. See, opening balance is on what date? 1st of January. Closing date is 15th March. For every transaction, from the transaction's due date to 15th March, we're computing interest. Under epoch, beginning date is 1st of January, 1st of January to due date, 1st of January to due date, 1st of January to due date. That's how we do it. You know why? This is nothing but writing average due date little differently. In average due date, what date do we take as base date? Earliest due date. Am I right? Earliest date is 1st of January or 15th March? 1st of January. If we take 1st of January as base date, from that date we compute to every date and then write the period. That's what we'll do in epoch method. From the beginning date to every transaction we write the period. And for that period compute the interest. For that period compute the. Then when we compute the interest, closing ceremony is very important. Closing ceremony is very. If you observe, for the opening transaction, 1st of January 2007 transaction, we computed interest till 15th March. Am I right? If this was interest method, here we would have had interest. Because this product method, we have product. Am I right? On the closing balance, on the closing balance, are we computing any interest? No interest. On the closing balance, are we computing interest? This is little wrong. So what we do under epoch is, on the opening balance, it will be zero interest. Why? 1st of January to 1st of January means this will be zero. How will that compensate it? We need to compute full period interest for closing balance. We need to compute full period balance for full period interest for closing balance. But after we find the interest, that should also be included. Then it will become closing balance. We should write interest column or product column. We should find interest, shift it to amount column. Then we'll find closing balance. No. How can we find closing balance on? How can we find interest on closing balance without finding interest? And how can we find closing balance without finding interest? To find closing balance, we need interest. After we find interest, we find closing balance. To find interest, we need closing balance. First we find interest. Then we'll write interest, then we'll find closing balance. Am I right? So to find closing balance, you need interest. To compute interest, you need closing balance. What do we do? Then we'll remember the logic. This is not money lender to charge interest on interest. Baddi, Chakrabaddi, Bhu Chakrabaddi, Vishnu Chakrabaddi, that and all is not there. So it is not like we will charge interest on the closing balance. That interest will get included in closing balance. On that interest will compute interest, other mail interest. No, nothing like that. So what we'll do, we will find the balancing figure in the amount column. We'll find the balancing figure in the, but we'll not write in the amount column. We'll find the balancing figure in the, but we'll not write in the amount column. For that amount, for entire period, we'll find the product or we'll find the interest. Then we find balancing figure in interest column and then compute closing balance. I'll repeat. Shall I? We will find the balancing figure in amount column, but we will not write it. We will find the balancing figure in amount, but we will not write it. Why? That amount has not yet included interest. On that amount, we'll do interest. We'll find product or we'll find interest. In this question, we'll find product. For full period, we'll write product. Then we'll find balancing figure in product column, compute interest, post it to amount column. Then we'll find closing balance plus balancing figure. That will be balance plus interest. Did you all get this? So 3 important points to remember. I've taught you 2 important points. How many important points in epoch? 3. I've taught you 2. What is the first one? Period computation. How do we compute period under forward method? Due date to date of account current. Due date to, how do we compute period in epoch method? Beginning date of account current to due date. Beginning date of account current to, when we do this, for the closing balance, interest is computed for full period. For closing balance, interest is computed for opening balance, interest is not at all computed. For opening balance, interest is not at all computed. For closing balance, interest is computed for, that is the first point. Second point, on closing balance, we need to compute interest. So what do we do? Find the balancing figure in the amount column. Find the balancing figure in the, but don't write it in the amount column. But don't write in the, On that, for the full period of account current, for the full period of account current, find product or interest. Find product or, understood? After you find product or interest, then find the balancing figure in that product column, identify interest, or find the balancing figure in interest column, post it to amount column, and then find the closing balance. This is the second point. Shall I tell you third point? Shall I tell you third point? This is called backward. This is called forward. What do? We find the product debit, product credit. Let's say debit side product is more, credit side product is less. Balancing figure will come on credit side. On that, interest is computed which side? Correct? Or let's say it is interest table method. Debit interest you got, credit interest you got. Let's say debit is more, credit is less. Balancing figure will come credit side. Which side amount column will you transfer it to? Got it? Whereas in backward, we don't do that. This side total will go to this side. This side will go to this side. Why? Already you done ulta, no? You don't have to transfer this as ulta. It would have become Sida. Already we are doing it ulta. It will go to the correct side. It will go to the, we don't have to do it wrong. Are you getting it? Yes or no? For example, you are supposed to take left turn. Supposed to take, are you getting it? So you've gone ahead. Then you should take U-turn and come and then take. However, if you come backward, and left the one right. If you come back, you can take left only. Right or not? If the mundu right turn to. Hey, forward method ali, you are computing forward. No, you have to take opposite sides. If you're doing backward, already it's become ulta, no? So you don't have to swap the interest to opposite sides. Take it on the same side. Take it on the. I'll repeat three tips, three things that you should remember. Okay, here are the three things that you should remember when you're doing problem under epoch method. Number one. What is number one? Period will be computed from the beginning of the account current to due date, not from due date to end of account current. Second point. What is second point? On the closing balance, interest has to be computed for full period. Don't write that closing balance. Identify the balancing figure. Don't write in amount column, but compute product or interest for full period. Number three, interest balancing figure on the debit side will go to debit side amount column. Interest balancing figure on the credit side will go to credit side amount column. Or product, respective side, not opposite side like forward method. Got it? Yes. Write this down, then we'll do the question. Write this down and also read it down for yourself, and then we'll do the question number 5. Read it. Is it new? Read what I've made you write here. Please, ma, read first point 300. How we prepared till now is wherein period of interest is computed to be time between due date and, however, same account current can be prepared with inverse approach. That is very good. Wherein period of interest is to be time gap between. Okay, then important point. Point number 1. Everyone, 1, 2, 3, start. Second one, find balance of amount. Don't write it in amount column. Very good. Very good. Find balancing figure in product column and find interest as per 1. Did you understand? Write this much, then I'll show you how to solve this problem under epoch method. After that, we'll do balance of product method. What? Bari bottle beku. Let me now solve illustration number 5 under epoch method. Under epoch method. Quickly help me with the transactions and date. That will be same. 1st of January 2007, balance brought down 3000. Correct. Then 16th of January, 2 sales 2000. Then tell no next. 2 cash. Then that's it. Come to credit side. Date. Buy purchases 5,500. Then 13th of March, buy bills receivable 2,000. Then that's it. No. Okay. Now, listen. First, we should identify the period. Shall we identify the period? Period is not computed from 1st of January to 15th of March. It is computed from the beginning of the account current period. That is 1st of January to due date. Here it is 1st of January to 1st of January. Period will be 0, but we should count that 1st of January. No, 1 day. Usually it is 0, but this is balance. For that we'll give 1 day. Next, 1st of January to 16th of January. 15 days. How many days? 1st of January to 10th of February. 31 days in January. 10 days in February. 40. Sorry. First day bit to count madogala. 30 days in January. 10 days in February. Got it? Everyone over here. 30 days in 28 days in January. Over here, this will come out to be positive. Why? We're counting forward, no? We're counting. It will eventually come down to be positive. Say something. How much is it? It will be 30 days in January, 28 days in February, 31 days in March, and 30 days in April. 10? Okay. Now, listen to me carefully. We will find the closing balance. Don't write it. We will find the closing balance, but we will not write it. For that, we'll find period also and write the product. Shall we? First, find the period. What is the entire period? 1st of January to 15th of March. 30 plus 28 plus 15. 70? Sorry, 31. No, first day if you count. Closing balance. You take 73, it would not make big deal of difference. 1 day difference, it will be not much. Okay, 73 nim kushi ne na kushi. 73. Happy? Next period we will count that 1 day extra. What do you say? Very good. 73 days. Happy? Everyone, smile. Now, find the balance here. 3,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,500. 6,500. Don't write in the total column. Minus 3,500. 3,000. Do 3,000 into 73. Product on closing balance. What do we get? 2 lakh. Understood? This will be considered in interest. You understood? First step we followed correctly. What is it? Period is computed from beginning of the account current to due date, not from due date to end of account current. First one. Second one, find the balance same figure in the closing amount column. Closing balance. Don't write. Find the entire account current period and for that compute product. Done. Now we'll find individual products. Shall we? Okay. Individual product. Here 3,000 into 1. 2,000 into 15. 1,500 into 40. 60,000. If in case you see some other book, they have taken 74 here, it is okay. It is 1,500 into 28. Here 2,000 into 102. 2,04,000. Now, credit side the total is more. Credit side the total is 219 plus 204 plus 42. 4,23,000, 4,33,000, 4,65,000. Now when we find the balancing figure in the debit side, interest should be written in debit side only. Interest should be written in. That is the third point, no? What is the balancing figure? 465 minus 93. 3,72,000. Yes. Now on 15th of March, I will find interest. 3,72,000 into 6% into 1 by 365. 61 point. Sometimes there can be slight difference in the answer under epoch method and forward method. It is okay. How much had we got previously? It is okay. It is okay. Bejare illa. 1 rupee difference. 85, 90 paisa difference. It is okay. It is totally fine. Now find the balance in figure. 3,000 plus 2,000 plus 1,500. 6,561.15. I'll write here 6,561.15. Tell me how much is the balance carried down. 3,061.561 now. 61.1 rupee difference. There it is 3,062.10 or something. That's it. Did you get epoch method? Yes or no? Copy this and question number 6 I'll give homework. Easy to do, very similar to the one that we've done. And I'll do question number 8, which is under balance of product. If you guys are willing to sit, let's do seventh one. But let's decide. First, copy this. If you are getting any doubt when you're copying, please do ask. First, copy debit side, then we'll write credit side. So this is question number 5 now. So we have 6, 7, 8. Eighth one I'll do. 6 and 7 may one question homework. 6th or 7th one. If you guys are agreeing, I'll give 6th and 7th both homework. But cover conceptually everything is covered. First copy. Can you sir? This you copy with an intention that when you're copying, if you get any doubt, you can ask. For those who are willing to write down taking screenshot, I'd show the entire answer at once. This is how we do it under epoch method. Okay. We are now going to the last topic from the chapter of account current. This is called as the third method. Last method. Today there is exam. Tomorrow. Listen to the last method and go. Problem andre ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? Listen. Concentrate everyone. So in the beginning of the chapter I told you, in fact I made you write also. How many methods are there to the chapter of account current? 3. We know interest table method. We know product method. Next one is called balance of product method or product of balance. They call it either ways. First, let me make you understand the concept of what is this product of balance or balance of. Now, we are doing account current. We're doing account current. Let's say on 31st of January 2020. What date are we doing account current? 31st of January 2024. Do you get this? For the month of January, we're doing transactions. So there are certain date and certain transactions. Let's say amount. Let's say all of these are receivables. There is no payable. There is no payable. All of these are amounts to be received. Now, how do we compute interest? I'll tell you the dates and I'll tell you the transactions, and you tell me how much interest and how do we compute. 1st of January 2024. 1st of January 2024. Let's say there is 10,000. There is 10,000 rupees. And let's say 15th of January 2024. There is another 5,000 rupees worth sale. These are sale being made and you're supposed to receive money against this. I'll take only receivables. I'm not taking any payables. If this is the case, tell me how much is the interest. Come on, everyone, quick. Compute in your own way. And also tell me how do we compute. 10%. Only receivable. Both are receivable. On this interest is how much? Simple. You compute like this. 10,000 into 10% into how many days? 31 days divided by 360. Leap year, not a leap year. 366. So, no, okay, 30 days. Okay, assuming this to be not the opening balance, 30 days into 360. Similarly, we'll do 5,000 into 10% into how many days? 16 by 366. What is the interest that we get? 81.96. Okay. 21.8. Everyone agrees with me? 103 point. Correct. Here what do we do? We computed each transaction's interest from that day to that. So there is another way to do this. Shall I tell you what is the other way to do this? Let me tell you what is the other way. So from on 1st of January, what is the balance? 10,000. On 1st of January, the balance is 10,000. And the balance will remain 10,000 till 15th of January. I will draw one more column here. I'll write balance. Balance is 10,000. Here it will become 15,000. Do you agree with me? Now, period. For what period is this balance 10,000? Till no. For first 14 days. Correct or not? The balance is 10,000. After that, from 15th to 31st, the balance is 15,000. 16 days. Do you agree with me? Yes or no? So from 1st of January to 15th of January, 14 days, the balance is 10,000. After that, the balance became 15,000. So I will do the interest like this: 10,000 into 10% into 14 by 366, and I'll do 15,000 into 10% into 16 by 38 point. Okay. 65. What is the answer? 108. 103.8. 1 paisa difference. Isn't it the same? What is the difference between this and this? Here, for each transaction from that date to year end, we computed. For this, what you do? This transaction to this transaction, this transaction to this transaction, this transaction to this transaction. Did you get this? This, what you did at first, is product method. This is balance of product. For each transaction, we find the closing balance. For each transaction, we find the, and on the closing balance till the year end, we find the interest. For that transaction to the next transaction. For that next transaction balance to that next transaction. We'll find balances. We'll not find it on the amount. We'll find it on the closing balance of each day. Are you getting it? You tell me which one is simpler? First one, second one. Depends upon the scale of operation. Depends upon the, sir, how will you justify? Yeah, let me justify. Listen to me. Let me justify. Justification is like this. Let us say you have bank account. You keep money in the bank. Bank will give you interest. Correct or not? Bank will give on the closing balance or opening balance. It will give on daily average balance. If it gives on the closing balance, throughout the year you keep the bank account zero. 31st of March, deposit 10 lakh rupees. We'll get full year interest. Is it like that? No. On daily average closing balances, we'll get it.